Deep within the shadows of a small, nondescript town, there lived a man named Walter Hawkins. Walter was an ordinary man with an extraordinary secret, a secret that could shatter the fragile foundations of reality. For years, he had been a part of a clandestine group operating within the highest echelons of the United States government, a secret task force dedicated to the recovery and reverse engineering of crashed extraterrestrial spacecraft. Haunted by the moral implications of his actions, Walter could no longer bear the weight of secrecy. His soul yearned for redemption, for the truth to be exposed, no matter the cost. After countless sleepless nights, he made a decision that would change his life forever. He would become a whistleblower. Walter knew that going public would be dangerous, but he also believed that the world deserved to know the truth. He contacted a local television station and convinced them to give him airtime on their late-night talk show, Beyond the Veil. The host, Robert Michaels, was skeptical at first, but the ratings boost Walter's story promise intrigued him. As the studio lights beamed down on Walter's anxious face, he recounted his tales of the government's secret task force, known as Operation Aurora. He described their clandestine operations to retrieve downed alien craft and their desperate attempts to reverse engineer the otherworldly technology. The audience was captivated, enthralled by the fantastical stories that spilled from Walter's lips. However, the truth carries a heavy burden, and as Walter bared his soul on live television, he unwittingly unleashed something far more sinister. Deep within the shadows, a malevolent force sensed the ripples of disclosure, and it was not prepared to let its secrets be laid bare. The U.S. government had always denied the existence of crashed flying saucers and extraterrestrial technology. Operation Aurora had operated in utmost secrecy, and its agents were bound by an unbreakable code of silence. The revelation of their covert activities threatened not only national security but also the very fabric of their power. Within hours of Walter's appearance on television, shadowy figures emerged from the depths of the government. Their eyes burned with fury and their orders were clear: silence the whistleblower, by any means necessary. Walter found himself plunged into a perilous game of cat and mouse, with his life hanging in the balance. As the pursuit intensified, Walter's world began to crumble around him. He discovered that the malevolent force he had unwittingly unleashed was not only hunting him but also preying on those closest to him. His family and friends fell victim to inexplicable accidents and mysterious illnesses. Paranoia gnawed at his sanity as he struggled to distinguish friend from foe. In his darkest hour, Walter sought refuge with a small group of individuals who believed in his cause. Together, they delved deeper into the heart of Operation Aurora, unearthing a sinister truth that surpassed their wildest nightmares. The crashed saucers were not merely vessels from another world. They were conduits for ancient cosmic horrors, beings far beyond human comprehension. Armed with the forbidden knowledge, Walter and his allies prepared to make a final stand against the encroaching darkness. They knew that they had to expose the malevolent force behind the government's secrets and put an end to its reign of terror. In a climactic showdown, Walter and his allies confronted the true orchestrators of Operation Aurora. The veil of secrecy was torn asunder, revealing a sinister cabal of government officials, driven by their insatiable thirst for power. As the battle raged, the forces of darkness clashed with those seeking truth and justice. Though victory came at a heavy price, Walter and his allies emerged triumphant. The malevolent force was banished, and the truth behind Operation Aurora was laid bare for the world to see. The revelations shook the nation to its core, forever altering the fabric of society. Walter Hawkins became a symbol of courage and resilience, his name etched into the annals of history. The Whistleblowing Act had brought about a reckoning, and the world would never be the same again. Yet, the darkness still lingered, waiting patiently in the shadows, knowing that the price of truth is eternal vigilance.
I hope you enjoy the content I upload. If you like what I'm doing, why not think about clicking on the subscribe button to keep up to date on my uploads. Thank you all for the great support.
Night had fallen, casting a veil of darkness over the city. The air was heavy with anticipation, like a storm lurking just beyond the horizon. Thomas Mitchell, a seasoned newspaper reporter, sat in the dimly lit corner of a small cafe, clutching a manila envelope. Inside were the secrets that could unravel the very fabric of society, the classified documents that proved the United States government was hiding extraterrestrial artifacts. Thomas had stumbled upon this revelation through a series of clandestine meetings with a whistleblower named Dr. William Carter. The doctor, now on his deathbed, was a former government scientist who had been exposed to high levels of radiation. He believed the government had deliberately poisoned him to silence his conscience, but before succumbing to his illness, he had decided to make his confession. Carter had entrusted Thomas with the truth, hoping that the journalist's pen would bring justice to his untimely demise. The worn-out doctor had provided Thomas with photographs, memos, and testimonies from other insiders who confirmed the existence of alien spacecraft in government possession. The evidence was overwhelming, but Thomas knew that publishing such a story would come at a great cost. The government would stop at nothing to keep its secrets hidden in the shadows. Thomas sipped his coffee, his mind racing with thoughts of repercussions and the unknown. The whistleblower's words echoed in his ears, urging him to expose the truth, to unveil the sinister cover-up that had plagued the nation for decades. He could almost hear the alien crafts hovering above, watching his every move. Feeling the weight of the truth on his shoulders, Thomas decided to visit his editor, Catherine, a woman known for her tenacity and fearlessness. He had to share the evidence with her, to convince her of the importance of this story. After all, they were journalists, bound by their duty to seek and reveal the truth, regardless of the consequences. The newspaper office buzzed with the sound of ringing phones and hurried whispers as Thomas approached Catherine's office. He knocked gently on the door, and she motioned for him to enter. Catherine was a middle-aged woman with sharp eyes that missed nothing. "What can I do for you, Thomas?" she asked, her voice carrying a sense of authority. Thomas took a deep breath, his hands trembling as he placed the envelope on her desk. "Catherine, I've discovered something that will shake the world to its core," he began, his voice quivering with a mixture of excitement and fear. Catherine's eyes narrowed as she picked up the envelope, flipping through the contents. As she read the documents, her expression changed from curiosity to disbelief, and then to an unsettling mix of determination and concern. "Thomas, if we run this story, we'll be stepping into the lion's den," she warned, her voice low and serious. "I know," Thomas replied, his gaze steady. "But we owe it to the people to expose the truth. The government cannot be allowed to hide something of this magnitude." Catherine sighed, her fingers tapping nervously on the desk. After a moment of contemplation, she looked up at Thomas. "All right, we'll publish it. But we need to be prepared for what comes next. We'll face backlash, threats, and perhaps worse." Thomas nodded, a knot of tension tightening in his chest. He had anticipated the risks, but he couldn't let fear dictate his actions. The truth had to be known. Days turned into weeks, and the newspaper diligently worked on the story. The walls of the office seemed to close in on Thomas as paranoia crept into every corner of his mind. Strange men in dark suits began appearing at the edge of his vision, following him in unmarked cars. Anonymous phone calls warned him to abandon his investigation or face dire consequences. One night, as Thomas sat alone in his apartment, poring over the final draft of the article, the power suddenly went out. A shroud of darkness engulfed the room, broken only by the faint glow of his laptop screen. The silence was oppressive, and a sense of impending doom settled in the air. Then, from the shadows, a voice echoed, chilling him to the core. "Thomas Mitchell, you have uncovered secrets that should have remained buried." Thomas's heart raced as he recognized the voice. It was a distorted, inhuman sound, emanating from a figure cloaked in darkness. "You have pushed the boundaries of what humans are meant to know," the voice continued. "Your story will never see the light of day." Thomas's instinct screamed at him to flee, but his legs felt like lead. He summoned the last remnants of courage within him and confronted the figure. Fred was a brilliant mind fresh out of university, his name whispered with reverence among his peers. His expertise in reverse engineering had garnered attention from unexpected quarters. And then it happened, a letter arrived, beckoning him into the dark recesses of government secrets. The United States had deemed him worthy of a clandestine project of extraordinary nature. To join the project, Fred had to traverse a treacherous path. Tests awaited him, both psychological and physical, designed to probe his mettle and unravel the depths of his resilience. He faced each challenge head-on, his mind sharpened by ambition, and emerged triumphant. The government saw in him an exceptional candidate, someone who could unravel the enigma that lay within the crashed alien spacecraft. Before stepping into the unknown, Fred had to sign a document, a pact with shadows and whispers. It bound him to secrecy, forbidding him from revealing what he witnessed to anyone, not even the ones he held dear. The burden of this vow sank into his bones, the weight of silence suffocating him even before the first secret was unveiled. Within the hidden facility, the truth unfolded before Fred's disbelieving eyes. The remnants of the alien spacecraft lay strewn across the laboratory, a testament to the inconceivable technologies lurking beyond the boundaries of human comprehension. Skepticism shattered within him, replaced by a chilling certainty, a truth he could neither accept nor deny. As Fred delved deeper into his work, the alien artifacts whispered to him in a language he could not understand. Their voices echoed in his dreams, their cryptic messages seeping into his waking hours. The veil of ignorance was lifted, exposing the terrifying reality that mankind was not alone in the universe. The pressure became an insidious force, chipping away at Fred's sanity with relentless determination. The weight of his knowledge bore down upon him like a vice, squeezing the life out of him. Nightmares plagued his every slumber, a maddening chorus of alien whispers that invaded his mind. Unable to bear the burden any longer, Fred reached his breaking point. He found solace in the finality of death, believing it to be the only escape from the secrets that clawed at his soul. But as he prepared to take his own life, a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness, a spectral embodiment of the horrors he had glimpsed. The figure, a manifestation of otherworldly knowledge, offered Fred a proposition, a pact that would grant him release from the torment he had endured. It promised oblivion, a cessation of suffering, in exchange for a dark service. Desperate and vulnerable, Fred accepted, his life irrevocably bound to the realm of the unknown. As the days turned into an endless spiral of darkness, Fred fulfilled his part of the pact, his actions carrying him deeper into a morass of immorality. The secrets he had sworn to protect turned into a weapon, unleashing a torrent of horrors upon an unsuspecting world. Fred became a pawn, manipulated by forces beyond human comprehension. His intelligence had become his curse, his mind now entwined with the malevolent whispers of the alien machines. The truth he sought had transformed him into a harbinger of doom, forever tainted by the shadows he had unleashed. In the end, Fred's life was consumed by the horrors he had encountered. The secrets that had once fascinated him now haunted his every waking moment. The whispers of the alien machines echoed through his thoughts, a constant reminder of the irreversible choices he had made. His name faded into obscurity, a footnote in a classified document. But the echoes of his story remained, a cautionary tale for those who dared to tread the path of forbidden knowledge. For in the pursuit of truth, one must always be prepared to confront the price that lies hidden within the shadows.